the Catalyst 101 series. I'm Vignesh and I take care of developer relations for Catalyst. In this first session, I will be introducing Catalyst by Zoho and then proceed to guide you through the process of setting up your first project, helping you familiarize yourself with the Catalyst console and then the CLI. And also we'll take a look at the Catalyst SDKs that we provide. So this step is essential before we begin building actual applications in the rest of this series. Before jumping right into Catalyst, I think it would be great to set some context. I'm sure some of you are no strangers to Zoho's suite of products. And for those who don't know, we have over 55 applications, and our applications span a wide variety of categories, catering to every need that a business could have. And we are one of the top contenders in some spaces like, say, sales, finance, and marketing. Now, over 100 million users of Zoho access these applications from data centers around the world. And so this right here is a snapshot of our growth over the years. And you can see that we have been rapidly adding new products every year to our portfolio, especially since 2017. So our scale of usage has also grown drastically, say where we went from 15 million to 100 million users in this time frame. And the number of apps we have been able to ship has also grown each year. So the key to our success and speed of developing and scaling these new products rapidly lies in our deep-rooted tech stack. So when I say our deep-rooted tech stack, we've meticulously built our entire application tech stack from the ground up, covering everything from servers and database systems in the physical and data layers to cutting edge AI and machine learning models up there in the application layer. In fact, any new application that is being built today within Zoho has engineering work to be done only, say, maybe in the top layers, while the rest of the foundational layers are abstracted away by the frameworks that we've built and sharpened over the years. And as we've been building apps in the B2B space, we see a growing need for businesses and developers like you to build custom applications that would suit your unique requirements. And the reasons for this need could be many things like security and privacy requirements, or hyperscaling requirements to handle varying amounts of load, or simply the need for solutions that act as a, say, a glue between your existing systems. And with Catalyst, we are now extending this powerful tech stack that you just saw to other businesses and developers around the world to use it as a platform to build the applications that they need for their own unique requirements. So this is a very natural evolution for us, as the technologies that we've built over the years were geared towards solving problems for businesses, and we are now extending them for others, developers like you, to build on top of. Now, like I said, Catalyst is a full-fledged cloud computing platform designed to empower developers to build and scale a wide range of applications, from small microservices that address specific business challenges to massive full-stack applications with AI models baked into them. And we do this by providing a unified platform with managed services and deep ecosystem integrations. So what sets Catalyst apart is its foundation on proven technologies already deployed within Zoho's ecosystem of products, like the tech stack that we just saw. So this means that developers like you can build on a trusted and battle-tested infrastructure, ensuring reliability, performance, and security. So by offering these tools, we invite the broader developer community to innovate and create solutions on a very solid and versatile platform. Now, let's take a look at some of the services that we offer today inside Catalyst. So these are all the tools and services that Catalyst provides, and we've grouped them here into different buckets for ease of understanding. So in the compute bucket, we have our scalable serverless functions for handling all your backend logic and data processing. We have the web and mobile bucket with tools for building, deploying, and managing all the web and mobile applications. And then we have our developer services like CLI, monitoring and testing tools to streamline development and deployment. And then we have integration tools for seamless data exchange and system integrations. So we have all these buckets. Say, for example, again, in AI and machine learning, we have tools that let you build your own custom models. And then in the data space, we have solutions for data storage, management, real-time processing, and all of those. To, to get a clear idea of these tools and capabilities, let's walk through a shopping app built with Catalyst, right? So this application itself can be hosted on our hosting platforms, be it a web application or a mobile app. So we provide hosting services for that. And then when a user logs in, Catalyst's authentication services can handle their credentials securely. And then as they browse products, the app retrieves data from a data store or a file store. And again, the product images that are displayed are stored in the file store. So that kind of data is fetched from there. When they search for products, our search services help them find what they're looking for. And let's say they've found an item that they like and click add to cart. Now the functions kick in to manage the business logic. After placing an order, the system notifies them of the shipment with an email and push notification, which are powered by our notification components. And for sellers who are there on this shopping platform, they might need to integrate their inventory or warehouse management system. And this can be done by a suite of event-driven integration services that we provide. And also we have the API gateway in Catalyst, which ensures that the endpoints are secure and only available for authorized users. For specialized tasks, if they say want to build a prediction engine to plan their inventory better, or if they want to build a custom recommendation algorithm, QuickML is the tool to go for. And if there is a need, say for a buying assistant chatbot or maybe a first level support chatbot, ConvoCraft would come into your rescue. The other specialized features like Smart Browse can be used to track competitor pricing, and they can use it along with PDF generation for creating invoices and other documents. Our DevOps and developer services, say like our SDKs and CLI, which we will take a look at shortly, ensure that the development team building this can focus on building features rather than managing infrastructure. So this makes the entire development process smoother and more efficient. So in this example that we've just seen, we can find in action all the different buckets of services that we saw in the previous slide. Catalyst has a wide variety of tools like a command line interface, SDKs, and extensions that make lives of developers like you easier. And it also supports most of the popular programming languages like Node.js, Python, and Java. And when it comes specifically to programming languages, Catalyst allows you to leverage most of the app development frameworks associated with these languages, be it on the front end or back end. So for Node, you can see we support Express, and for Python, we support Django. So most of the famous frameworks that you would associate with these languages, we have support for it. So you're probably wondering, what are some good scenarios where someone can think of using Catalyst? So the first scenario is within your Zoho implementation itself. So Catalyst is great if you want to build scalable middleware for both multi-Zoho product solutions and for connecting your Zoho implementation with other external apps. Catalyst is also great when you want to take your Zoho implementation that you have done to a larger audience externally. So no matter what you build, Catalyst helps you with a scalable application or a microservice that ties tightly to your core Zoho product implementation. Now, of course, that's not the only scenario. You can Catalyst is also great for extensibility. Say if you want to extend your Zoho implementation beyond just the Zoho ecosystem, Catalyst would work great for it. Or if you have a bunch of legacy applications and you want to tie them all together, Catalyst would be a great solution for that as well. And let's say this is you want something entirely custom built for you, a full stack application that does something very specific or something very unique for your use case. You can build full stack applications or microservices that handle specific use cases with Catalyst. Catalyst is also great for creating bespoke AI models for, say, predictive analytics, AI powered chatbots, or if you want to do some sort of web automation or a scraping system, Catalyst would be great. So, this is again not a very definitive list. You can rely on Catalyst for any of your cloud computing needs, be it a professional solution or a hobby project of yours. So this is not a very exhaustive list. This is just to give you some idea to get started. All right. Now, with this initial context set, I think now is a great time to get started with our hands-on session. So throughout this entire 101 series, we will be exploring Catalyst through the lens of building an application from scratch. And for that, we will be taking the example of a simple project management application. We will be exploring Catalyst through the lens of building an application from scratch. And for that, we will be taking the example of a very simple project management application. So this is the application, and this is built with Catalyst, and it allows users to create projects, associate tasks with those projects, and then manage them. So we've chosen this application because it is very simple and easy to follow, while still using a wide variety of Catalyst components like serverless functions, authentication, data store, user management, and so on. So yeah, you can add new tasks, or you can create new projects. So yeah. Now let me just go to the Catalyst homepage. So if you head to catalyst.zoho.com, I hope the URL is visible clearly. So if you head to catalyst.zoho.com, you should see the Catalyst homepage, and then a form that will allow you to either sign up like this. So if you have not signed up or signed in already, you will get this form. So you can just enter your details here and sign up for Catalyst. In my case, I have already signed in. So I'm just able to see the Access Catalyst button. So this is where our application development journey begins. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Access Catalyst. Okay. So this index page of the console lists all the Catalyst project that you create in your Catalyst account and enables you to create new projects as well. So these are all the projects that I have already created. The notifications and settings icons on the top right corner display the notifications and general settings that are common to all your Catalyst projects. You can access project-specific settings from inside a project, which we will see shortly. And the index page, if you scroll down, also lists all the help resources for various services, development tools, and more. Let's now create a Catalyst project from this index page in the console. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new project. I'm just going to call this project management app. Okay. So I'll just click on create. So this will now redirect us to our projects page where we can now access Catalyst services, components, settings, and other developer tools for our project. So you can access all the services inside the project by navigating to them from the left menu. Let me just zoom it in here a little bit, just so it's visible. So these are all the different services that are there in Catalyst. So we have serverless, the first one here, which is the fully managed cloud computing platform that provides both functions and platform as a service infrastructure services for your application building needs. And then next, we have Cloud Scale, which provides end-to-end solutions for your application storage, security, integration, and deployment needs. And then we have Catalyst ZIA services, which include features like OCR, AutoML, text analytics, image moderation, and more that you can use to build or that you can use in the application that you are building. And then we have DevOps here, which provides components that allow you to operate your code at scale and perform application monitoring, iterative testing, and quality checks very easily. QuickML here allows you to create machine learning pipelines with end-to-end solutions in a fully no-code machine learning pipeline builder service. So you can access a host of pre-built machine learning algorithms, operations, and data processing techniques, and connect them with data sets that you already have to build machine learning models. And ConvoCraft enables you to build text-based conversational bots that can be embedded into your Catalyst solution, say a support chatbot or a buying assistant, like we saw in the shopping app example. You can configure tasks for your bot and define the underlying business logic to govern actions. And then we have other services like Smart Browse that lets you automate browser functionality. So some use cases of Smart Browse is like web scraping or PDF generation and all of that. So one thing you may have noticed is that I have skipped a few services. So that is, and also if you have signed up now in your own browser, you will see that you don't have all the services that I have here on my screen. So some of them are in early access. So we will cover some of the really cool things that we have in the works in the upcoming sessions. All right. So you can click on start exploring in each service to access the components that are there in the service. So I clicked on start exploring in the serverless service, and you can see components like functions, security rules, app style, and circuits. So the components in each such service will be grouped into various categories based on their functionalities. The same for Cloud Scale or any other service as well. So we will use these components in the app that we are building in this series. So the serverless and cloud scale services have dashboards which can be accessed by clicking on the service name at the top. So let's say you are checking out something else like the cache or the search component. And if you just go ahead and click on the service name on the top, that's going to take you to the dashboard. So these dashboard contain metrics of the day for your project and also directions to install the CLI as well as links to various Catalyst help resources. You can navigate to other projects by clicking on the drop-down menu in the top left corner here. So it's going to show you all the projects that you have created, and then you can switch to them. Or if you just want to go back to the project list page that we initially saw, you can click on the Catalyst logo here. So let me just zoom that in. Yeah, this one. Okay. So coming back to our project, let's take a look at the settings that we have to allow you to configure, personalize, and set up features that are relevant to your Catalyst project and your console. So to access settings, just click on the settings icon on the top right here, this one. And if you click on it, that should open it up. Okay. So the Catalyst settings are displayed under three sections. So the general settings enable you to set up features that are common to all your projects of your Catalyst account. So you can access general settings from the index page as well. Now, the first thing here is the collaborators. So you can add collaborators in your organization for the projects in it, and they will be able to access a specific project or all projects in the organization from the Catalyst console or the CLI based on the nature of their collaboration. So if I click on add or assign, that's going to let you configure the access for that particular collaborator. The next settings that I would like to draw your attention to you is the infrastructure as code. So the infrastructure as code settings enable you to perform project exports and imports easily from the Catalyst console. So you can export the schema of a Catalyst project, including the configurations of its components and the code, as an external zip file. You can import this zip file as a new project into any Catalyst account. So the zip file is created in a specific format when you export the project, and it can only be imported in this format. So that's how Catalyst understands it. The project export and import feature, so this is the export option and this is the import option, enables easy transfers of projects between data centers or between Catalyst accounts. So it enables easy access, and it also enables easy access and testing of a project from an external environment as well, say from a GitHub repository. You can simply clone a Git repo containing a Catalyst project's components, generate a zip file to import it, and then test the project. You can also perform these actions through a remote system, such as a continuous integration system, a CI system, or write scripts to automate these tasks. So this feature allows you to easily duplicate existing projects and branch them for different use cases. Say you build something very specific to a customer, and you want to take that implementation and deploy it to someone else. IAC would be your friend to do that. So next up in the project settings, we have something called environments. So Catalyst provides two work environments in the web console for your application. The first one is the development environment, which enables you to create, configure, test, and host Catalyst features and components in a local sandbox. When your Catalyst application is still in the development phase, you can use the development environment to build it and perform iterative testing on it. The next one is the production environment. So this is the live mode that is accessible to the end users of your application. When you complete the development and testing of your Catalyst application and it is ready to be made live, you can easily deploy your application from the development to the production environment from the web console. So this deployment process migrates all the data and configurations from one environment to the other. After your application has been deployed, you will be able to switch between the development and production environments in the Catalyst console very easily. So Catalyst offers the development environment permanently at no cost. You can work in the development environment of all your Catalyst applications and use most Catalyst features for free. So these project settings enable you to set up features that are specific to the current project, and these can be accessed only within the project. And finally, you have the billing settings, which enable you to manage your billing and payments for your Catalyst account. So you can access this from the index page as well. All right. Now that we have actually created the Catalyst project for our 101 series, it is a good time to go ahead and set up the CLI or the command line interface for Catalyst in our local machine. Like I said, it's now a good time to go ahead and set up the CLI. So CLI, or the command line interface for Catalyst, contains a set of tools that enable you to initialize projects, develop, test, and deploy the components of your applications and microservices in your local machine. So the CLI includes commands and operations applicable to most Catalyst services, such as cloud scale, serverless, smart browser, or basically any other service that you saw here in the console. The CLI supports Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. So I'm using Mac OS here, but the installation procedure should be the same for everyone. Now, however, before we install the Catalyst CLI, you must have a few prerequisites installed in your system. So the first thing is Node.js, and the second thing is the Node Package Manager. So if you don't have them installed, you can download Node.js for your platform from their official website, which is nodejs.org/en. Or you can use a Node version manager like NVM to install Node.js and NPM. So NPM comes bundled with Node.js when you install it. So in my case, I'm using NVM, but it's up to you. So you can either download Node.js specifically for your platform and then install it through their website, or you can do it through NVM. As I mentioned before, Catalyst supports Node.js, Java, and Python programming languages. Whichever language you choose, you need to ensure that you have the development environment set up for that programming language as well. So in this series, I will be using Node.js. So everything required will be already installed when we install Node. However, for your own projects, or if you want to replicate what we are building here, if you are using Java or Python, you need to have the correct Java SDKs and Python versions installed in your machine. So you can refer to our documentation for details on this, or you can also refer to the documentation of that particular programming language to make sure you're setting up the environment correctly for that language. All right. So now that we're done with the prerequisite part, I'll show you how you can install the Catalyst CLI. So to install the Catalyst CLI, you need to run a command in your terminal. So the command will be, let me just, yeah, the command will be npm install -g catalyst CLI. So this command is available. The steps to install and all of this is available in our documentation as well. And you can see the command here in the Catalyst console. So this will be there in the dashboard of serverless, cloud scale, and all these components. So let me just show you my terminal. All right. I hope it's visible clearly. So the first thing I'm going to do is run npm install -g catalyst -cli and press enter. And if you do that, this will initiate the installation process and your terminal will display the progress. So in my case, I have already installed the Catalyst CLI. And so this is just going to update the version for me. In your case, it will install the Catalyst CLI in your machine. You can verify was properly installed by executing the following command. So it's going to take some time to install it. But since I've already installed, I'm just going to terminate the process. But that's it. You just run the command and it will finish running. So you don't have to do anything along the way. So if you run the command and everything goes perfectly fine, you can verify if the CLI was properly installed by executing the following command. So catalyst -version. So that one here, if there were no issues with the installation, the command will return the version of the CLI installed in your system. So in my case, it is 1.17.4. You will now be able to use Catalyst commands from your terminal for your projects. So of course, one such Catalyst command was Catalyst hyphen hyphen version. So I was able to use it because everything was working fine. All right. Now, the next step you will be doing is logging into your Catalyst account through the CLI. So the command for that will be Catalyst login. So once you do that, so in my case, I have already logged in. In your case, if you are doing this on your own after this session, it will ask you for your username, your password credentials, and then all the other authentication requirements. It's a pretty self-explanatory process. So you can just finish the login process. So in my case, we're already logged in and done. All right. So let us now initialize the project management app project. I know it's a bit of a mouthful. In our local machine through this CLI. So the first thing to do is to create a folder in your machine for this project. So to initialize the Catalyst project, one important thing is that it should be an empty folder. So you must have a folder ready for that, and you need to navigate to that particular folder in your terminal or command prompt or whatever environment you use. So in my case, I'm just going to navigate to my home directory. This is where I keep all my Catalyst projects, and here I am going to create a new folder for the project management app that we're going to build. So I'm just going to run the command and press enter. So that would have created a new folder for us. Okay. And now I have navigated to that folder in my terminal. So you don't have to create the folder in through your terminal. You can just create it through your Finder or File Explorer or whatever file manager system that you use. Okay. So we are now inside an empty folder created specifically for our project. And we now have to initialize that project which we just created in the console here in our local machine. And the command for that is catalyst init. So catalyst init. So I'm just going to hit enter. And that starts the initialization process. So it is now going to ask which portal you want to use for this directory. So in Catalyst, you can have multiple projects in an organization, and you can be a part of multiple organizations as well. So I am a part of 3 organizations. So it is listing them here. And the project that I just created is a part of my personal organization. So I'm just going to use the arrow keys to scroll down and press enter. And this will now list all the projects that you have created in the Catalyst web console. And here you have to navigate to the project that we just created and select them. So to navigate, you need to use the arrow keys. And this project management app is the project that we created. So I have now highlighted it, and I'm going to press enter. Right, so it's going to tell you that a Catalyst RC file has been successfully created with the project details. And now it is going to ask which are the features you want to set up for this folder. So like I said, Catalyst has a lot of features like functions and then web client hosting and then app sale and all of those. And it's going to ask you which one you will be using. This is an optional step, but it will make our lives a little bit easier. So for the application that we will be building in this series, we will need both functions and client. So I'm going to highlight functions first, and then press spacebar to select it. And then I'm going to navigate to client and then press spacebar again to select it. And then I'm going to hit enter. So we won't be using app sale now, but we will be exploring app sale in our upcoming sessions. So I'm going to press enter. And then it is going to ask you what kind of a function we will be using in our application. So it's going to list you basic IO functions, advanced IO, event, cron. So if you're not sure of what each of these does, don't worry. This is just the introductory session. The next session focuses exclusively on building serverless functions and the business logic. So we will cover each of these in detail in the next session. So for now, for the app, we are going to use advanced IO functions. So I will just go ahead and select advanced IO and press enter. And it is going to ask which runtime we will be using for our application building. And like I said, we will be using Node.js for building our application. So I'm just going to scroll down and select Node.js 18. So I have Node.js 18 in my machine. So whatever appropriate version you have, you can select it here from this list. So I'm just going to go ahead and select Node.js 18. And it is going to suggest a package name for the functions. So I'll just go with the default name. If you want to change something, you can go ahead and do it. So since I don't want to change anything, I'm just going to press enter. And it is now going to ask which file will be the entry point for our serverless function. So index.js will be the file in our case, and it is also the default. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. But if your requirements change, you can change what the entry file is. And then it's going to select the author. It's just me in this case, so I'm just going to leave it at the default. And then it will ask if it's okay to install all the dependencies now. So I'm just going to go ahead and press Y. I want Catalyst to install all the dependencies. So it has done that, and it's going to finally ask the type of client that we are going to use. So with Catalyst, you can use frameworks like Angular, React, or you can also build a basic web application. If you use any other frameworks also, that's okay. You can use the app sale feature to host them. But for the sake of accessibility and making sure that everyone is on the same page in this series, I'm going to choose the basic web application. So we will be building the entire app using normal HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we won't be using any frameworks so that it's easy for everyone to follow along. So I'm just going to use basic web app. And yeah, it's going to ask how the client should be addressed. So I'm just going to call it the project management client. And with that, the initialization is complete. Great. Now I'll just open this folder in my code editor now to see what this initialization process has done. So I'm just going to open VS Code. I have it open already here and import the folder here. So we'll just navigate to home, project management app. Yeah. So you can see that the initialization process done in the CLI has done a bit of setup work for us already. So we have two folders, client, function, and then a Catalyst RC file. And we also have the catalyst.json file. So inside the functions folder, you can see that it has already created a basic index.js node file. So this is like just an initial boilerplate code on which you can replace and change stuff on top of. And then we have the package.json here, which contains all the this is where you'll list and maintain all the dependencies that you are using for the project. And then it has also created a node modules folder for us with all the dependencies installed. And then in the client folder, we have the index.html, the main.css file, and then the main.js file, all with some boilerplate code set up for us. So when we come to the package.json file in our functions folder, you can see that it has installed a dependency called zcatalyst-sdk-node. So this is basically the Catalyst SDK. So what exactly is an SDK? So an SDK, or a software development kit, is a set of tools and libraries that allow developers to create software applications on a specific platform that the SDK targets. The contents of an SDK package include everything that you will need to properly build apps for that platform. And the Catalyst SDK specifically incorporates various Catalyst services, so you can easily handle backend jobs for your application by implementing the ready-made functionalities for each service provided by the SDK package, and then you can build on them as per your requirements. So this saves you from investing time and effort into coding the entire backend from scratch, and helps you focus more on designing the user experience of the app. So Catalyst provides SDK packages for the following environments. Okay, so if you're able to see my screen, so we provide SDKs for Java, Node.js, Python, Web, and if you're working on mobile applications, we provide SDKs for Android, iOS, and Flutter. So there is ample guidance on these SDKs in our docs. And for this project, we will be using the Node.js SDK. So now that we've taken a look at the Catalyst console setup, we've also had an intro to Catalyst and all of that. We've come to the end of our first one-on-one session for Catalyst. So just to recap, we've had an intro to Catalyst, its capabilities, created a project, set up the CLI, and explored the application development console. And we also had a very brief introduction to the Catalyst SDK, which we will be using extensively to build the apps. So in the remaining sessions, we will be building the actual application that I showed you at the beginning. And we will use features like serverless functions, data store, authentication, hosting, etc. And we will also explore things like app sale. And we will go in depth into each of these features, how they work, and how you can use them in the best way.